Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. Today I want to go over the patch notes for the upcoming 320 League, the Forbidden Sanctum, in a TLDR style. So I went over the entire patch notes and wrote down the most important things that I think are important for you guys to know if you just too lazy to read all of that. Alright, let's start with the new content and features. Ruthless will be available for, with the 320 League. There was an alpha version before that I played personally, but now it will be available for everybody to test. We got new skill gems, which is the Frozen Legion spell, and the Volcanic Fissure, which is like a melee/slam skill. We have new support gems with Cursed Ground and Hex Bloom, which is basically Cursed Ground, as the name says. You just have a cursed area, monsters walk in, they're hexed or cursed. And we have Hex Bloom, which basically transfers a hex when you kill an enemy to the next one. Then we have 8 new Val skill gems. Some of them got already previewed, some of them are still not. So we have Valcleave, Flicker Strike, Blade Flurry, Venom Gyre, Molten Strike, Caustic Arrow, Volcanic Fissure, and Smite. They're gonna release the Fracturing Orb / Shards from the Harbingers. That means that they're gonna remove the option to fracture items on your Harvest Crafting bench, but therefore we're gonna get a Fracturing Orb. We got 15 new unique items. Some of them got shown, some of them will be released in the upcoming days, basically closer to the launch. We have 10 new divination cards, 2 new Atlas mission or memories with domination and bestiary, and the Calandra's touch ring added to the Quadra pool. That was like this mirror your other ring from the Calandra league mechanic from last league. I'm happy that I see this one over here in the Quadra pool, because I think you can make some crazy cool things with this one. We have Atlas changes. The Maven Witness bosses can drop Awaken gems now, and there has been the map shuffle as of like every league, where, you know, some maps get removed, some get back in, and they also like swap in tiers, so we have like a bit more of variety. And keep in mind that when it comes to like Divine Vessels, all of these captured bosses have been mixed as well, or now located on other maps as the end boss. Then we have monster mods and Arch Nemesis. Arch Nemesis basically got removed, and we went back to an older style of rare monsters. This has been discussed in the Balance Manifesto Arch Nemesis that you can find on my channel. Similar to the Eldritch Altars, has been discussed in the Balance Manifesto, but overall, Eldritch Altars are nerfed. They're not as profitable as they used to bring it in line with other farming methods. The Atlas tree removed endgame boss passives and added them to boss mods. That means basically that all these, like, I don't know, Elder or Uber Elder has an increased chance to drop a Watcher's Eye, for example. This is now passive to the boss, to the Uber Elder encounter, and not in your Atlas passive skill tree, which is pretty good in my opinion, because you in PoE right now, you want to only do stuff that you actually skilled into, right? If you have like a lot of like boss fragments, like Shaper fragments, you have to consider, well, I have 2 Shaper sets, will I do them right now? No, I think I do not, because I need to like reskill my entire Atlas passive tree, go into all the good stuff that Shaper can do, or will give me more rewards. So this will open up a lot of like additional Atlas passive points that you don't have to spend in those while still being able to do those. And therefore, they also buffed many league-specific passives, and also increasing the spawn chance. And I read somewhere that you can get up to like 100% chance to spawn a league mechanic if you want to. So that will be every map has Delirium, every map has Breach, every map has whatever you specialized yourself in. And there is gonna be a new keystone that adds pack size instead of scarab modifiers. This is interesting because I first heard that in the patch note, or read it, which basically means to me that if you have, like, there are a lot of scarabs that just nobody wants, you know, like Nico, like, I don't know, like other things, you know, just put them in with this keystone and just spam all of your scarabs that you don't want to use yourself or too lazy to sell, and just get increased pack size for magic fighting, for example. I think this is very, very great to like recycle that bad scarabs that nobody wants, right? Jewels and ailment mitigation discussed in the Balance Manifesto. Basically, they reworked and removed some of the threshold jewels. As an example, Ethereal Knives has this like threshold jewel where you can get it in a Nova, right? And then they added an Eternal Labyrinth enchant for Spark and EK that causes projectiles to fire in a circle. The Spark projectile speed helmet enchants and Ethereal Knives Pierce helmet enchants have been removed. So a lot of like the threshold jewels for certain skills got removed, got changed, got buffed, or introduced in another way, like this one here with the helmet enchantment. And we're going to have new dual prefix modifiers, which is 2 to 3% increased mana reservation efficiency of skills and increased flask effect duration. I think this is going to be, I think like every single dual, based from my opinion, would be a prefix, life, mana reservation, and then the suffixes as 2 damage modifiers. And if you do that, if you stack those, I think you're going to get a lot of like mana reservation efficiency to maybe get an additional aura on top of your usual playstyle. Then we have the curses reworked. They removed Doom. We have weaker trigger curses, so there's like implicit rings, for example, flammability on hit with 20% increased effect. This 20% is gone. So trigger things will be worse, but self-casting will be even stronger. Bosses no longer have curse effect reduction, buff. This basically means a buff for endgame and a nerf in the early game, but this all has been discussed in the Balance Manifesto for curses. Endgame unique weapons drop from specific Uber versions of the bosses, very low chance. This is like, or not only Uber versions basically, because Venus Kitchen Knife is a global drop, but they should be very, very, very rare, but therefore insanely strong. To name a few, a Tears Disfavor, Starforge, Voidforge, the Savior, the Soul Taker, and so on. So just to give you an example, for example, Voidforge, they used to the weapon used to have 300% physical damage as extra random element, right? With the new version, it's 700%. The Starforge, they changed the base type damages and therefore nerfed all the uniques a couple leaks ago to bring everything back in line, right? And Starforge used to have like 450 to 500% increased physical damage. It got nerfed to like 2 to 300%, but the new reworked stronger endgame weapon is back to like 4 to 500% increased damage, which is ridiculous. Voltaxic Rift, instead of 60% lightning to chaos conversion, you have 100% lightning to chaos conversion, which is going to be very interesting to do a lot of like lightning poison builds, spellcasters, and those kind of things, or attack builds. I think that's going to be crazy to put those uniques as your best in slot weapon for your build instead of always this, oh, I need a mirror tier weapon to make insane damage. I think these are gonna be quite good. Then strike skills and additional enemies. Trouble Fury is now splash damage instead of +1 strike target. So it's basically a passive splash, and the attack mastery now gives it +1 strike instead of like something whatever. I think like further away target attackable and stuff like that, doesn't matter. But the thing is, a lot of like these strike skills do need a melee splash, do need additional strike targets to be halfway decent in the clearing aspect, right? So making Trouble Fury just have a built-in splash damage support gem, more or less, and get the mastery for +1 strike will basically lower your investment to have good clear. The Pious Path node no longer provides increased effect of consecrated ground you create. Spectral Helix and Lightning Conduit got both nerfed because they were just too strong. Lightning Strike got a big nerf in the way of clearing. So it's not like, I'm not sure about the damage nerf, I don't think so, but it was just way too easy to have a really good single target and really good clearing, and the clearing comes from the additional projectiles and chaining and those kind of things. So for example, the alternate quality for Lightning Strike does no longer provide 1 to 2 additional projectiles. The base Lightning Strike, I think, was like fire 4 additional projectiles or something. It's now back to 2, and the Labyrinth Enchant also provides less additional projectiles. So if you want to have insane amounts of clear, you're better off by just socketing an Awakened GMP, for example. Onslaught is now a buff and can be scaled. I mean, Onslaught is a buff, 20% increased attack, cast, and movement speed, but now it can get scaled with various modifiers. For example, the Flask effect with Silver Flask. You know, Silver Flask just says, as long as the Flask is on, you have Onslaught. But now with increased effect, this 20% Onslaught will actually get scaled up, basically same as the Raider Ascendancy, where it says like, yo, Onslaught effect, 100% increased effect of Onslaught, giving you 40%, and now with this one even further. So this is like a stackable thing, which I think is pretty cool. Withering Step and Elusive. Withering Step can no longer be used while already elusive. This is just to counteract for all these Nightblade abusers. Oh wait, users, I'm sorry. So basically, you were just having like elusive on hit or crit or whatever on kill, and when it dropped lower, you like used Withering Step to get a higher amount of elusive, and then the next kill a higher amount. So you could keep a very high amount of elusive with like abusing Withering Step for that, right? But this is no longer possible. Ancestor Totem got a new mastery where the buff effects linger for 3 seconds. The Tainted Orb of Fusings are now buffed in the success chance to bring it more in line with the original Scourge League Orbs of Fusing. Then we have the Fracturing Orb, which basically is just as it was before. Chance, I think, 1 out of 4 fracturing, but they removed the Harvest Craft option, but now added this one to the Harbingers with Fracturing Orb and Shards as a drop, so Harbinger's gonna be very valuable this league. Sadly, no Divine Shards. Then there's a Bestiary party play, no longer gives Beastcraft to everyone in the party, and the owner of the instance gets it, plus player bases scaling with quantity. The thing is, why this is a thing is because of the new introduction of the new Atlas memory for beasts. So imagine you run like a memory and you have like 100 beasts in there, technically, whatever, you know. And then you just make a 6-man party and everybody gets 100 beasts and all the crafts that come with it, right? So the owner gets it, plus, based on quantity, maybe 1 or 2 more players or 3, depending. And the Kirak complete the map mission has been nerfed in the sense of uniques. I think there were just too many unique maps, the Cortexes, the whatever unique maps, and they were in Tainted Paradise and so on. They should be rarer than before. Then the Atlas memory lines are now dropping identified, and the rogue markers got removed to no longer be guaranteed from Act 6. Then we have the Lyrak, the Lyrak, yeah. The Kirak League, the Lyrak, nice. Mods available during 320, which is Fortune Favors the Brave, Anarchy, Domination, Breach, Beyond, Harby, Delhi, and Ritual. And that is it. This is it for the 320 patch note. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I could give you some insights if you're too lazy. So I would appreciate if you thumbs up this video, like, comment, subscribe, and the other stuff. Share it with your family, you know, these kind of things. And I hope to see you in the next video. Out.